My name is Raymond Pye. I work with Prosthetics Outreach Foundation in Seattle. We're a very small organization. We've been in existence since 1989. And we started out focusing on prosthetics, and we have grown beyond that to other disability areas, such as we're doing large projects on clubfoot and So, again, my name is Raymond Pye, and I'm an industrial designer. I graduated from Western Washington University and entered into the business of the prosthetic component business straight out of college. I spent the last 30 years focused on prosthetics and prosthetics component development. Like I said, Prosthetics Outreach Foundation really has four main areas of service now. It's the prosthetic outreach work, where we actually go out into the communities to locate the patients. We actually measure them and take the casts and all the information we need in the field, bring the casts back to our central workshops and make the devices, and then we go back out and deliver in the field. Part of that is we also help each country that we work with develop their own components. We also have an annual program for orthopedic surgery with the American Foot and Ankle Society. And then 3 years ago we started, as a result really of this surgery project, we saw a lot of older clubfoot patients. So we started our own clubfoot treatment program using the Ponseti method, which was developed at the University of Iowa. Where we work, we started in Vietnam in 1991, and it was focused primarily on prosthetics. There was a large need there after the Vietnam War and very poor facilities in Vietnam. We focused on northern Vietnam, primarily the areas radiating around outside of Hanoi, right up to the Chinese border and the Lao border, down to southernmost point is like Vinh, the city of Vinh. The second side is Bangladesh. We work in a small private foundation hospital in southwest Bangladesh. It's called Nolta. There we primarily do prosthetics and orthopedic surgery, and we've partnered with a clubfoot project starting last year, and that's going very well for a national clubfoot project in Bangladesh. 2004, I think it was, we've started a prosthetics service in Sierra Leone, where we were asked by the Ministry of Health there to serve the northern province of Sierra Leone, which is quite a large area. It's about 1.5 to 2 million people, a very large geographic area, but there was nothing there at all. So we established the building and hired a small staff and began providing the first service there. And then last year we started another small project helping a local NGO in Liberia. Same sort of thing, small project, prosthetics first, plus clubfoot. It may progress into surgery. In all of these programs we have, right from day one, we start working with local staff to develop their components. Just a rough idea of what the distribution of services in an annual basis. This has changed over the years. For example, back in '91 it was all prosthetics. But this is kind of typical of the distribution. So I'm going to focus the presentation today on the component development. And just to start, I just want to give the audience just a very rough idea of the issues in most countries. You know, most amputees need repairs and replacement parts for their prosthesis. It depends on where the person lives and works, but it's about between 12 and 36 months. Sometimes more often if they're very active or if they're children. Most amputees fitted with a prosthesis try to lead normal, active lives. So repairs at home needed. And on the specific products that we work most on is the prosthetic foot and the prosthetic knee joint, which are prone to wear. This is just a photo that shows you the wear on the surface of the foot. That foot would have to be replaced. So the amputee would have to come in, or we would have to find that amputee and replace that foot. The main basis of, you know, you can see the number of repairs that are needed for a large community of amputees. So we need to set up a regular service, and a regular service for all these repairs needs a regular supply or a reliable supply of components. So that's really why each country needs to develop their own component base. They just cannot rely on imported components from larger NGOs, and countries fall out of favor over the years. So it's really important to develop basic components that can be built in the country. When we start to develop components, we really have to start working, developing a team. And one of the previous presenters said earlier, you know, a lot of these developing countries, there's usually only one person in the country that's even thinking about this stuff. And so it's our job to really develop a basic team that really wants to spend their career focusing on component development. And we start with one. We always have to find one person. We usually try to work with the ministries because they usually will have some institution that's supposed to do this work. And then we'll find a manager, or we even assign a manager. But these guys, we really try to focus on the person that's a good communicator and a good team motivator. We either find local engineers in the private sector or in these ministries. We really have to take what we get to give them for a start. Also, prosthetists are very important in the team. A lot of countries don't have educated prosthetists, so sometimes we just have to have someone that's been trained locally. And that's okay to start. And also, we also bring in global experts in specific products that are needed. Just very simply, we work from Seattle. We do not have in-country project staff. Just local, we work with the local staff. We do not have expats. So we do everything really online. So it's really important to have some simple project goals and simple tracking documents to keep people focused. The second section here, I just use all the tools that are available to me for communication, and it really depends on the level of the internet service in each country. But these tools are just great for moving projects forward. You know, 10 years ago, you can remember this, I started with a fax machine. That's all I had. So a fax machine to Vietnam. So it's changed a lot, and it's a lot easier now. All